Okay then, boys. So, how long until I become good, and how to 10x your skill development? Okay, so here's just a few little facts about hours on skills. Okay, so 20 hours on a skill means you've learnt the skill, you've done the bare minimum. Okay, of course, stuff like brain surgery, stuff like rocket science, you're not going to learn everything in 20 hours. Okay, 100 hours means you're considered not bad at something. So if you walked into a guitar shop after 100 lessons of playing guitar, the people in the shop wouldn't laugh at you. Okay, you're still not good at this point. 200 hours means you're good. Okay, so if you were doing martial arts, let's just say you're doing kickboxing, and I was just watching someone, I could tell by him hitting the pads, okay, this guy's good. Okay, 1,000 hours means you're pretty good. Okay, so that's just 3 years of 1 hour a day of training. Let's just say it's boxing, right? After 1,000 hours, you're pretty good. People are sort of saying to you, like, come on, mate, you've been training for 3 years now. When are you going to get into the cage? That's pretty good. 2,500 hours means you're intermediate. So this is probably when you're an amateur fighter. You've probably already had a few fights. People when they watch you can visibly see that you're very good, intermediate, I should say. And you've probably had a few cage fights, and you've probably had some good success due to the amount of work and hours you've put into this skill. 5,000 hours means you're advanced. Okay, so you're probably well into being a professional fighter at this point. Probably had a few pro fights now, and you're definitely considered advanced. 10,000 hours, so double 5,000 hours. Now you're probably in the UFC. Okay, so you've probably had a few pro fights, maybe in Bellator, and then you've moved over to the UFC. Okay, 20,000 hours means you're a master at something, so double 10,000 hours. You finish your UFC career probably, you're now probably coaching, you've probably got all the knowledge in the world to teach. And when I think of a master, I think of like an old man who holds pads all day long, and he's got all the knowledge in the world. So if you put 20,000 hours into a skill, you'll be considered a master at something. Okay, I would do all the maths for you and figure out how much hours you have to put in per day, but there's actually a calculator. You can just go online and type in skills calculator or something like that, and then it will figure out how much hours you have to put in per day to reach 20,000 hours. Okay, so why do most people give up? Because what most people do is they'll do Spanish. They want to learn Spanish lessons, for example, right? Let's just say they wake up and from Monday, they're like, okay, I'm going to do 20 minutes of Spanish every day. They do their 20 minutes on Monday. They're kind of a bit confused. They'll do it for 5 days straight and they'll give up. Okay. But in reality, if you've done 5 times 20 minutes, that's only an hour and 40 minutes. And it takes 20 hours for you to be considered not bad at something. So you've actually still got another 18.33333 recurring hours of learning before it's even acceptable to give up. You're supposed to be shit because you haven't put the hours in. And the hours exercise says that it takes 20 hours for you to be considered good at something. Okay, if you did 1 hour of pads with me, I can't promise that you're going to be good at hitting pads. Yeah, maybe after 20 lessons, you're going to be considered not bad. I say that to all my clients anyway. You're not going to be good. You're not going to be Mayweather in your first boxing personal training. You're not going to be Saenchai in your first Muay Thai class. Pretty simple stuff. So how do we track our time learning skills? I use this app called Toggle Track, right? And I'll tell you about a few things that I track in a minute. But you want to pick some projects and skills that you want to work on, and then you want to just keep on glancing at the hours. So once you've started tracking the hours, you just keep on looking at it and go, okay, it takes 20 hours for me to be good at something. It's not bad at something, sorry. I've only done 3 hours of kickboxing, so I'm not even not bad yet. I must be really shit, okay? But most people would give up at that point. So if you just stick it out, you will actually beat 95% of the world probably, just because you've decided to stick it out when other people didn't. Okay, so what skills could we track? So, studying, cardio, martial arts, learning how to do a one-arm pull-up or handstand push-ups. The only reason I put that down is because I'm at the moment trying to learn how to do one-arm pull-ups. So far, I have done... Let me just quickly look. I've only done 20 hours of this, and I still haven't managed to do a one-arm pull-up yet. Okay, I can do 15 reps of normal pull-ups, no problem. I can do weighted pull-ups, no problem. But one-arm pull-ups, still not there yet. But I understand that I'm not too far away from making that goal happen. Okay, so people say to me all the time, like, how do you manage to develop so many things at the same time? It's because I track my time, boys. Okay, a few more things that you could be learning. Learning how to play guitar or piano. How many hours do you go on dates for? Are you struggling with women? Because if you've only been on one date every month, you're going to have to wait 20 months, which is nearly 2 years until you become good at dating. Okay, so the more dates you go on, of course, the better with women you're going to get. You might be struggling with your family, you might not spend enough time with your family and friends. You can track how much time you spend with them. So if they ever go to you, oh, Shay, what the fuck, you've not really been spending much time with me recently, I'll be like, hang on a minute. I've spent the last 5 hours with you on Saturday. So that was more than a week before, because I can just look at my phone and be like, yeah. So, and you can also track how many hours you spend on sales calls. And that's a new skill I'm learning at the minute, is how to sell, right? How do I persuade people to buy off me? You can also work on projects, and you can track how much time you spend in, I don't know, planning out a project that you might be working on. How much self-care do I spend on myself? Track how much time it takes for you to wash your face, how much time are you wasting, how much time it takes you to shave. Okay, so the moral of the story is you just got to keep on going. You're not supposed to be good, okay? Use tracking skills as a momentum collector, if you like. I can look back at my phone and be, okay, I'm on my way there. I'm nearly there. Won't be long until I can do one-arm pull-ups. Okay, so once you've got momentum rolling, it's like the boulders rolling down the hill. It's super easy to just keep on going, keep on going. And it's also satisfying and motivating just looking at your phone and seeing how far you've came already and how much time you've already put into it. You're going to be way less likely to give it up if you've invested 5-6 hours already, versus if you didn't track your time, you wouldn't even know. Okay? So you want to just keep on reviewing how much time you spent on it and understand that that skill will happen. You just need to keep on going. The easiest way to do this is the day before. You just set on your calendar just give yourself a little bit of time to work on this skill. Maybe you want to learn Spanish and you want to do it first thing in the morning. Write it down in your calendar and then start that timer. Okay? So, you want to level up on many things at once. Okay? If your calendar's laid out correctly, you can skill develop many things at the same time. You'd much rather be an 8 out of 10 at many different things as a man versus being a 10 out of 10 at one thing and then 0 at everything else. Okay. For example, you don't want to have a 10 out of 10 physique, but you're still broke and you're still living with your mum. Okay. You don't want to have a 10 out of 10 bank account, but you're fat and ugly. Okay. The most respected men are the most versatile, right? You want to be 8 out of 10 at everything. Okay. So, this is because you don't ever want to lead or identify with one thing. So, for example, I'm going to go back to dating again, right? Let's just say you're a rich weirdo, right? You're a rich guy. All you do is just spend all day on your computer. Yeah, you're a millionaire, but then girls are just going to use you, Okay, they're not gonna actually find you attractive. They know that you're just a living bank account, and you're not gonna have any respect. Okay, but if you'd had the physique, you're good at talking, you already had other girls, you're gonna be more versatile. You're gonna be more valuable. Okay, and you're gonna have way more respect if you are 8 out of 10 at everything versus leading with one thing. Okay, how many times, maybe this has happened to you, but you see, I know a few of my mates have definitely done this. They'll go on a date and they'll lead with their wallet, even though they're not rich. They'll lead with their wallet because they've got nothing else to show for themselves. And the girl's just going to fucking take their free meal and leave because she never actually found you that attractive in the first place. The only reason she went on the date with you in the first place is because you were leading with money. Okay? So you want to be the man that can shoot guns, fight, you've got a really good physique, you're good with women, you've got amazing charisma, and you do not want to lead with anything because you want to be well versed in many different areas. Okay? So that's the end of the video anyway. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to learn how to skill develop and work on your physique, work on your nutrition all at the same time, then please give me a message or click the link in the bio and we can get yourself booked in for a call with me and we can work one-on-one with each other. Thank you very much for watching.